Greetings and welcome to the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair overview for students, parents, and sponsors. All participants in the 2020-2021 DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair will be required to view and sign off on the guidance and safety expectations provided throughout this module. In this session, we will discuss the science and engineering project timelines, rules, benefits of participation, and tips for a successful school science and engineering fair. We will also review the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair dates and updated requirements. The wonders of science and engineering inspire curiosity and developments that lead to improving the world around us. The DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair project provides an opportunity to take the science and engineering concepts learned and use them to solve a real-world problem. The students conduct a full investigation, including experimentation or prototype development, and present it at a local school science and engineering fair. This is an opportunity for our students in grades 3 through 12 to use their critical thinking skills to make a positive impact on the world. Let's begin by looking at the Regional Science and Engineering Fair in its entirety. There are 3 divisions in the Science and Engineering Fair: the Novice, Junior, and Senior divisions. The Novice division is comprised of grades 3 through 5 and has 4 categories: Earth Science, Life Science, Physical Science, and Engineering. The Junior division is grades 6 through 8, and the Senior division, grades 9 through 12. The junior and senior divisions have 22 categories for projects that can be found in the project guide. In our novice division for grades 3 through 5, our student categories are Earth Science, Life Science, Physical Science, and Engineering. School sponsors and parent resources are available on our website with detailed information on project ideas, rules, and guidelines. The topic selection and background research is where students begin their work. To help guide students, sponsors, and judges in scoring, projects are placed into categories. For the junior and senior divisions featured here, refer to the list of categories in the guide to assist you with identifying which one fits their project. The students will need a sponsor for this project. A sponsor can be a teacher, parent, professor, or professional scientist or engineer that will monitor and support the students in completing their project. We can see from this timeline that the project can be broken down into 3 parts. 1. Topic selection or background research. 2. Investigation or engineering design plan. 3. Findings and real-world applications. Students have a choice of completing an investigation project with an experimental design or an engineering design project that includes the evaluation of a prototype. As students are conducting their investigations or engineering designs, remind them to take notes and photographs of themselves doing the work. These pictures can be used in the display as an authentication of their procedures. The research plan is required by all participants, and it includes a project rationale, research questions, hypothesis or engineering goals, procedures, risk and safety, data analysis, and a bibliography. Students are required to complete a risk assessment survey, so follow the rules and guidelines for further details. All participants, including students, parents, and sponsors, are required to view the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair overview. When completed, all participants, parents, and sponsors will complete an electronic verification indicating they have viewed, read, and understand all 2020-2021 DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair requirements. Before students begin the investigation or engineering design plan portion of the Science and Engineering Fair, ensure they have received pre-approval for their research and experimental design processes. In addition to the official abstract, Forms 1, 1A, 1B, 3, and the research plan and project display are required. Though not required, a logbook is suggested as it provides evidence of the work the student completed during the duration of the project. Findings and real-world applications should be reflected on the display board presentation. As students complete their experiments, document, and analyze the data, they will then create a display for the project. Remind students that there should not be any living organisms, liquids, flames, or sharp objects on or in front of their display. Refer to the guidelines for the exact dimensions of the display board and area. The display will include a project board, poster, or presentation, the official abstract form, Forms 1, 1A, 1B, 3, and the research plan. Local school sponsors will provide more details about how to create a project board presentation. The International Science and Engineering Fair rules and guidelines govern your students' successful participation in both the local schools as well as the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair. They are your number one tool for assisting your students with completing this project. Refer to this document for all forms, display, and safety rules for students and adults. Most questions are answered in this document. Students and sponsors can use their ISEF rules wizard to assist in identifying the forms required in their projects. This year, there are additional restrictions for the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair in line with the correspondence for the Center for Disease Control and Prevention that are featured later in this presentation.
There are some changes to our DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair this year. In the following slides, please be sure to take note of the pertinent changes that affect students' projects, sponsors' responsibilities, and requirements for the virtual fair. As our region is experiencing the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, the ultimate goal is to support the safety of each participant, sponsor, and family member. With this in mind, the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair will adhere to the guidance in accordance with the Center for Disease Control and the International Science and Engineering Fair rules and guidelines. For more information on completing research and engineering projects at home, please visit the Research at Home link located on our DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair websites. Featured here is the official DeKalb Science and Engineering Fair Safety and Guidance document that includes information and links to required forms. This document is accessible on the Science page on Verge, the DeKalb County School District's Science and Engineering Fair webpage, and the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair website. This year, all projects involving human experimentation are prohibited. This includes the student researcher and family members. Review the International Science and Engineering Fair rules and guidelines for more details. This year, all projects involving vertebrate animals are prohibited. This includes any non-human animals such as amphibians, reptiles, mammals, or any vertebrate embryos and fetuses. Refer to the International Science and Engineering Fair rules and guidelines for more detailed information. This year, all projects involving the use of hazardous chemicals are prohibited. This includes substances regulated by local, state, county, or international law. For further details on the restricted chemicals, refer to the International Science Fair rules and guidelines. Since we are hosting a virtual fair, registration fees will not be collected for students participating in the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair. However, students advancing to the Georgia Science and Engineering Fair will be required to register and pay for their registration fees online with the GSEF. More details will follow for students in grades 6 through 12 advancing to GSEF. In order for students to participate in a regional fair, local schools must host a local school fair. For K-5 schools or centers hosting a fair, only students in grades 3 through 5 will be eligible to participate in the regional fair. Each K-5 school or center is allotted a maximum of 4 projects to advance to the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair. In grades 6 through 12, each school or center is allotted a maximum of 15 projects that will be eligible to advance to the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair. Remember to alert the district science coordinators of when you are holding your local school fair. Your school science team and invited community experts will use a scoring guide to select your winners. Ensure that judges include suggestions to aid students in revising their projects for the next stages. All participants, including students, parents, and sponsors, are required to view and sign off on this safety and guidance module for eligibility to participate in the 2021 DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair. This year, our school-based and regional fairs will take place virtually. Students will select a project with project guidelines of the 2021 DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair and present their projects via video presentation. There are resources available for school-based fairs to assist with event ideas, including parent information, safety acknowledgement rubrics, and more on the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair websites. During recordings, parents are required to be present in compliance with the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair guidance and safety procedures. Local school fair sponsors will provide additional details on how to upload videos for asynchronous judging. The top projects from your school's fair will advance to the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair. All forms and documents are due to the DeKalb County Science Coordinators on or before January 13, 2021. The DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair will be held February 1st through 6, 2021. The top selected projects from the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair will advance to the Georgia State Science and Engineering Fair in Athens, Georgia. Students will be able to compete for additional scholarship opportunities and prizes. This fair is held March 25th through 27th, 2021. The highest ranking projects at the Georgia State Science and Engineering Fair will participate in the virtual Intel Science and Engineering Fair for a week of sharing and learning scheduled in May 2021. The most diverse science learning experience of the year is held during that time. For your convenience, the DeKalb Regional Science Fair documents are housed in a folder in our Science Verge Curriculum Community folder entitled 2021 DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair, in the same area where the science units are located. They are also housed on our DeKalb County School District Science and Engineering website and the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair website. For more information, be sure to review the international rules and guidelines featured in the DeKalb Science and Engineering Fair folder in the Verge Curriculum Community and the DeKalb Regional Science and Engineering Fair websites. If there are further questions, please contact the science coordinators directly with any concerns. Thank you for joining us and see you at the Science and Engineering Fair.